Hi everyone, blessed be. I wanted to talk to you today about dandelions and their use in paganism. So, first of all, you might think, well, dandelion's just a weed and it's not of any use, need to get rid of it out of my garden. But actually, if you take time to stop and research and find out a bit more about them, they're actually quite useful. Now, obviously, if you leave them, they will take over your garden because they're quite prolific at spreading. But you can keep them under control. Just keep a few somewhere in your garden, in sort of like the wildflower sort of area of your garden. They're a source of food for insects at this time of year. They're one of the first things that start coming up in the spring, and they'll go all through summer and everything. Now, in paganism side of things, you can use them to represent the sun and bring the sun aspect into your workings. You can use them for workings involving building your confidence. You can use the clocks, which is the seed heads of dandelions, are used traditionally for wishes. You can use them in wishes. So you like make your wish and then blow the seeds out into the world once you've made your wish. You can put them on your altar space to represent the sun and give thanks to the sun. And you can actually eat dandelion, but what I would recommend is that you do your research, find out if there's any interactions with any medications and things, and also find out about allergies and if there's any research on them to do with allergies. Obviously there's not going to be like loads of research on dandelions because most people think of them as a weed and don't really care about them, but what you can do as well is take the flower petals, dry them and use them in your magical workings. I like them to you can use them to brighten your altar. You can dry them and have them hanging up around your altar space to brighten up some potpourri, to just use them as decoration. There are ways of making the dandelion leaves and things into a tea, but I don't know enough about that to tell you about that. That's something you'd have to research yourself. Apparently they're supposed to be good for making a divination tea, but again, I don't know about preparing them properly to make a tea, so you'd have to research that. They're supposed to be good to bring brightness and sunshine into your workings. You can use them in protection workings to sort of go, prevent negativity, to dispel dark thoughts, as obviously they're quite nice and bright and sunny, and look, that lovely bright yellow is quite a warm, happy colour. You can use them in workings for bravery and courage as well. They're nice to gather to make flower crowns and things with for Beltane festivals, and they're also said to represent new beginnings because obviously you've got and transformation, because you've got the flower head and then that dies off and then it's replaced by the seed head, and then the seeds fly away and start a new plant. So it's that constant cycle of renewal. I've actually got a tattoo of a dandelion clock on my back that's been like seeds blowing off and then they're transforming into birds and flying away. That's a big tattoo I've got across my back. And for a lot of people, dandelions have a special meaning. I know as a kid growing up in the UK, it was quite common for us to pick the seed heads and blow them and watch all the seeds fly for miles around. That was something we used to like to do. And you can collect them and just have them in a pot, like a little pot of water on your altar, just to bring that nice sun energy in. Now, as you can see, what I'm doing is I'm just collecting some from my garden. Now, when you're collecting them, you want to make sure you collect them from somewhere safe and somewhere fairly clean. Now, obviously, I'm collecting these from my backyard, so I know what's on them, because you want to be careful that you don't pick ones that are full of pesticides or been peed on loads by dogs and things. But obviously, you're going to wash them anyway. So what I would do to prepare them to use in magical workings is I pick the flowers, take the petals off, spread them, wash them with some warm water, like rinse them with warm water like you would any vegetables and things that you would cook. Obviously you don't want to put soap on them, but just rinse them quite a few times, just make sure they're nice and clean, and just strain them. Then lay them out between 2 sheets of paper towel and leave them for a week under a nice heavy book to press and to dry. Then once they're done, you can put them into a jar so you can use them for your magical workings. Now, this first jar I made, I picked the dandelions a bit late, so there's a lot of like where they're turning into seeds head in my jar, but that doesn't matter. I can still use them in my magical practice. My second batch, which is currently drying now, is more pure petals because I got them nice and fresh. So that's going to be a nice yellow jar when it's on display. Because what I like about the dandelion petals as well is they don't lose their colour when you dry them, or at least they don't seem to. The ones I've done haven't. So they're nice to add to potpourri, they're nice to add to offering bowls, nice to use in mojo bags, charm bags, spell jars, to add that nice sun energy into your working, and also to make them look nice and pretty. So yeah, that's it. That's my little bit of information for you about dandelions. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Blessed be, and bye for now.